Mic is on. Good morning, aspirant. I am back with new topic and with full energy, as I hope you all have same energy. Today we are going to discuss, yesterday we discussed the international relationship, Africa, we went to Israel, then we came to Africa, and then finally end up with how that both of Mauritius and Israel matters for India. So today we are going to discuss how exactly the foreign policy decisions taken by the polity and governance. So today our topic is polity and governance. Okay, so today is Tuesday, so I will take two articles basically. In that first article, as we all know that there is a conference of presiding officers recently held in Bangalore, and the another conference, the first conference in India, women's empowerment, and all the members of Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha, they gathered in Tirupati, the land of God, and they passed the resolution that is called Tirupati Declaration. That Tirupati Declaration mentions about the role of woman in India's development. And basically, this is the main topic is we will discuss how the constitutional provisions of Article Constitutional Amendment 106 implemented, how it is going to be implemented, and what is the basic features of that constitution. So basically, our one topic is role of women in India's development and women's representation. Okay, so this is our second topic, and the first topic will be the role of presiding officer. Okay, so let's start. Come along with me. We will going to start our first is the office of the speaker. As we all know, our first prime minister said that parliament is temple of democracy. And who is the god of this temple of democracy? Who is the god in this parliament? That is presiding officer, the speaker. This position, why I am specifically mentioning the god, because the office of speaker is very important in the parliamentary democracy like India. Okay, the speaker have particularly different roles he used to play, and the last 78 years of experience we have shown the good examples of the speaker who stood with the constitutional morality, constitutional values. So we are going to discuss how the speaker office originated, then what will be the roles of what are the roles of the presiding officer, speaker, and then what are the issues, constraint, criticism of related to this article, and what are the recommendations where exactly this office of speaker can be make a more visible and more neutral. Okay, so this topic comes under, we once again start with the basic. I will start once again with basic. Why this topic we are studying? We know we all have GS2. In that also, working and envisage role of executive, legislature, and judiciary. In this legislative wing, we have different parliament. In this parliament also, we have LS, RS. Okay, in this RS, speaker is there. So this is chair. Okay, GS2 polity, in that working of the various working and envisaging of the role of the envisioned role of executive, legislature, and judiciary. Okay, in this legislative domain, speaker act as a head of the legislative wing of the state. Okay, that's why the role of the speaker is important. Now we are going to first topic, that is what is speaker and when this office exactly originated. The origin of this office is simple. And before that, I will yesterday yesterday I got some recommendations from you student only. How we are going to this? This was what I discussed. That is a mains. But how exactly UPSC had asked the question previously on the office of speaker? This office is very important in prelims also and mains also. Okay. Most of the prelims questions, they are from constitutional mandate. the role of the speaker. And in mains, I think 2021 or 22, there was India should adopt the uh, convention like British Parliament. There should be the speaker above the party. Once the speaker, always the speaker. Okay, this is a one domain of this is the mains, and role of the speaker is very crucial in for the mains also and prelims also. But in prelims mostly remember Article 93 to 96 to be specific. This articles is four articles provide the office of speaker and deputy speaker their role, but this is just a office appointment, procedure, removal. Okay, but the speaker is not limited to these four articles. If you see 108 joint sitting, if you see 1110, if you see 117, all these articles deals with the role of the speaker. Okay, then so this is for the prelims. For the prelims, what you have to remember, you have to just remember the what are the powers of the speaker. Okay, and if you see article 124, that deals with the removal of the judges of the high court. Okay, sorry, Supreme Court. And in this there is we have enacted the act, that is Judges Inquiry Act 1967. Okay, in this act it is depend on the presiding officer, that is the speaker, to adopt the motion or to reject it. If you see the recently the Delhi judge case, that judge case shows that how the Lok Sabha adopted the removal motion. So in the proceeding exactly, speaker role is very crucial. We are going to discuss the different roles of the speaker, because speaker don't have only presiding role. Speaker have very different wider role. But first back come to our point, that is origin. The office of speaker originated in Montagu Chelmsford reform, and this had asked in UPSC PYQ. Okay, Government of India Act 1990. Earlier it was the president. Okay, and vice president. Okay, this is called the Central Legislative Assembly. Okay, from there 1947 G.V. Malvankar was the first Indian post-independence speaker. Then 1950, then Ayyappan this started, the convention started exactly. Okay, but you have to remember 2024 they asked the question on this, who was the first post-independence speaker. In the Bhilubhai Patel in 1925 was the first Indian pre-independence. Okay, but the G.V. Malvankar was the first Indian post-independence. Then so this is the office of origin. This is the basic. Now this office adopted to the particularly, and the news, as I told the what exactly the in the news, why exactly, because there is conference of the presiding office of Indian region in the Bangalore recently held. Then this is the one thing. Now next thing, as you can see these pictures, they were like done constitutional mandate. This is our thing. The article 93 says that what exactly there shall be, and if you know why this shall is mentioned, that means it is mandatory. It is mandatory on the system, it is mandatory on the government side, that there should be shall means mandatory. That's why if you remember 24th constitutional amendment 1971 made that their assent should be given to the constitutional amendment bill by president. There shall be, not will. Okay, will is different in the legal term. Will and wills is different. Okay, but will and shall, we have to remember will versus shall. And 1977 44th constitutional amendment keep this shall for the president, but that was not removed for the governor. So governor, article 163, that's why the discretionary power, there is in article 163. If you see the wording exactly, there is governor will act on aid and advice of the council of minister or otherwise. That otherwise, just one word, provide huge scope for the governor to act on his will. Okay, that's the origin of the discretionary power. Supreme Court has interpreted it in this. Now come to the constitutional mandate. In constitutional mandate also have some broad dimensions. Yesterday I was discussing with a student, and there I realized that Exactly, we know the speaker is there, but how to study? Constitutional mandate is there. We will follow the chain. Think, act, think, break it, act it, and then analyze thing. Speaker, he have some, he or she might be have some constitutional mandate. Okay, and what is this constitutional mandate? There might be appointment, there might be some powers, there might be related to the removal procedure, there might be the related to the election procedure, and some parliament or the rules. These are the dimensions under the constitutional mandate for the speaker. So always, whenever you are studying any office, try to remember any constitutional office. Try to implement this kind of skeleton, this kind of structure. What is the structure exactly? Office particularly, what exactly the constitutional mandate? This will comes under the constitutional mandate. Appointment to the removal, then it includes the power, procedure, office, then what exactly the role played in the earlier, because it's been 78 years, we have some offices like Attorney General this year 2020 2025 they ask on AG, okay, in some time they ask on Deputy Speaker, okay, they ask Vice President. So the skeleton will remain for the same to all constitutional offices, okay, but just the procedure article will change and the case example will be changed. This is the very best method to study for the mains, okay. This is just one dimension. Now appointment done by whom? Anyone can tell me? Okay, appointment is done by, there is no special procedure for the appointment of the speaker and qualification, no special procedure. I mean to say that no special qualification. If you see the our present, have you seen any special election for this? Our honorable speaker is MP. That means MP of Lok Sabha. There is no special qualification to be as a speaker for the any member. If you elected as a member of parliament in the lower house, you will get chance. You will get chance to be act as a speaker, but it is depend on the ruling party. Okay, but the procedure exactly, there is one concept related with the office of the speaker, that is pro tem speaker, and this is related with the exactly the election process. So I am taking pro tem speaker. Pro tem speaker is nothing but a one person. See what will happen, I will tell you the scenario, practical things. Constitutional provisions are there, but in practical things there are some gray areas. In 2014, when the Congress UPA government falls and new government came into power, so earlier speaker was not in the position to preside. He or she could have preside, but the thing what happened, they just gave to the pro tem speaker. Pro tem speaker is by convention. Convention, I mean to say that if one senior member of the party or any party, not the ruling party exactly, any party can be can be can be a pro tem speaker, means just for the temporary, for the first meeting of the general election, they will appoint one as a pro tem speaker, and that pro tem speaker will conduct the election. He or she would have all the powers of speaker, okay. So this is a pro tem speaker office to just conduct the first election. Then the next thing is or come to the sport. Once the election done, election is simple procedure. There is no special oath, nothing. The only thing is the particular person, individual should be a member of lower house. Okay, this is one condition. Okay, then the election is normal procedure. As if you see, there will be in first meeting only there will be election based on the general simple majority, and the particular both party will give the candidate and they will win. If you see the recent vice president election, same thing happened. Okay, this is the procedure. Then once the speaker elected, now exactly
Hello.
speaker is elected,
Hello.
then what speaker will do? There will be the role come into picture. So now we are going to
Hello.
do what exactly the different roles
Hello.
of the
Hello.
speaker. And in see role is not monolithic role. Okay, role is not monolithic role. There are different role. Administrative role, as because he is a head of legislative wing. Then as a presiding officer role, then there is a special role related to the representative at the international forum, IPC. Then one more role post 1985, that is under 10th schedule. Okay, this is the rules, and in this if you write two points also, then you will get the broader idea of role of the speaker. And this is the way, if you study for the mains, this will enrich your content, and there is no concept of value addition something. You have to just mention the administrative. Just think who exactly the positive role played by was speaker. Earlier example, you can use the data also, to justify your point. But apart from data, what I have done in the recent mains only, just go to the practical examples. The recent example, the administrative presiding officer. See, it is the authority of the Om Birla, means the speaker, to conduct such a session. Our next topic is on the woman empowerment and role of the woman in the decision making. So our woman conference in Tirupati is done on the recommendation of the speaker. Okay, that means that the conference members will be both from the particularly not only the Rajya Sabha, both Rajya Sabha, Lok Sabha, but this is the administrative role of the speaker. Correct. So this is the one dimension. And mention the code. The second example I want to particularly mention the I just remember that this thing right now, the 1989, and the speaker Jairam Zakar, Balram Zakar was the speaker. He was recognized to organize the question hour, to organize the proceeding of the lower house. Okay, so this is the exact role. If you mention that, that means you are not just manufacturing, you are throwing your content. That means you are giving the practical example. Oh, yes, this had happened in earlier, and the same content you can use in your GS4 also. Okay, Balram Zakar and Om Birla's recent approval to the Tirupati conference. This is the administrative role. Secondary thing, if you remember, the last year there was incidents happening in the Lok Sabha. That is the some social miscreant. They entered in the new Lok Sabha, and they throw something happened, but that was the harmony, maintaining the harmony. So it was the authority of the speaker to look after the security. Okay, and if you see, to arrest any member of the Lok Sabha, particularly police needs permission from the speaker. To protect the parliamentary privilege is administrative role of the speaker. So this is a third role. And if you take the example, there was in 2022 one MP was peacefully protesting in the Bombay Azad Maidan, and state government generally, state police asked for the arrest, but Om Birla apparently rejected that approval, because Om Birla and the office of speaker is responsible to protect the parks and privileges of the MPs. Done. So this is overall administrative role. I have given you three roles, and with Om Birla, recent Tirupati conference, then Barlam Zakhar's example, 1891, the organizing the Lok Sabha, and the recent 2022, once again Om Birla. Done. The next role is as a presiding officer. Okay, now we are going to do what exactly the presiding officers do. Presiding officer role. In this also, session it not only include the particular one thing, break down it, presiding, summoning, then the members, summoning of the house done by the president only, but the exact the procedure. Okay, day-to-day agenda setting, accepting the motion, removing the members, suspension of the members. This all acted, and most important, DRCs. The chairman of DRC is appointed by speaker only. Then the business advisory committee chairman, again speaker. Then one more role, this one. The next one is particularly the quorum and ad hoc committees formation, referring bill to the committees. If you see, work board, yesterday only our Supreme Court gave the green light to the implementation of the Work Board Amendment Act 2024. But before that, before passing the exact bill, the bill was referred to the joint committee. And why this? The who referred this? This is the authority given to the Lok Sabha Speaker. Then this is a one dimension. We are talking about the roles of the Speaker, and in this first we discuss about administrative role. Now we are discussing as a presiding officer role. Then this is the maintaining the quorum, appointment of the DRC chairman, and giving the nominating the members of. And one more role is the selecting the panel of chairperson. This is also authority of the speaker. One important role, if you remember, and that was the controversy recently was going on, the date nomination for the deputy speaker. If you see, from 17th Lok Sabha to the 18th Lok Sabha, there is no office of deputy speaker in the Lok Sabha. I am talking about Lok Sabha, I am not talking about the Rajya Sabha. Okay, there we call chairman, vice chairman, because the reason is this: in presiding officer, deputy speaker election date is decided by speaker, and the speaker date is decided by the president, and this date election date. Okay, so this is the link, and that's why this post is still empty from the 17th vacant. Okay, this post is still vacant. This is the reason. Okay, this is the administrative role of the speaker. Then you can go through as a chairperson, business advisory committee. Then the bill, we can refer the example. Okay, the role under the this is important dimension. And if you see, I have given specifically data how you can justify the point. Okay, how you can justify the point. Around 1100 legislators faced disqualification petitions, but still decision. If you go from the Manipur, and always try to draw the map of India anyhow, but try to draw Manipur to Maharashtra to Goa to Karnataka, then Karnataka to Himachal Pradesh, Himachal Pradesh to Rajasthan. If you see how speaker's role is acting, this is I'm talking about the speaker at a state legislature level, but the role both at the central and at the union level and the state level role is more or less same. Okay, then this is a one of the role of the this is a one of the issues going on the petition, particularly the this 10 schedule role, okay, of the speaker. Then now come to, and why this power given to the speaker under the 10th schedule? Can anyone tell me? The reason is being because most of the time what happens, there was Ayaram Gayaram story. Might be if you all heard about the Ayaram Gayaram story, but there was certain integrity people. I will give the example. The best example is Somnath Chatterjee. Somnath Chatterjee from 2004 to 2009, despite his party removed support to the UPA 1, he didn't resign from the office of the speaker. That was the epitome of the integrity and impartiality. Somnath Chatterjee. Always, if a question come, always mention the Somnath Chatterjee. Always mention the PDT Acharya. Okay, these are the best good examples. And the second Constitutional Review Commission. Okay, Somnath Chatterjee in the post-independence India, Somnath Chatterjee is a one example of the speaker which definitely act as a god of the parliament. Parliament is a temple, but temple is there. That means the god is there. The god is speaker, and the speaker, the exact role is done by the Somnath Chatterjee. If you go and search the role of the speaker, 2004 to 9, Somnath Chatterjee did not resign, did not bend to the party politics, and he said that I am above the party politics because I am the speaker. This is the role of the speaker. This is a 10th schedule. But apart from that, I gave these examples how exactly the many members are incidences happening. Then that's why Supreme Court in Namam Rabia case specifically mentioned that the in Bomai case also I have mentioned here, this anti-defamation Kito Holohan case, Namam Rabia case, then the Bomai case, everywhere three to four cases, one or two scholars and one or two good examples. Okay, Balram Zakar, Somnath Chatterjee, these are the good examples. I will give you the some where exactly the speaker act as impartially. I will mention there also, okay, or partially. I will, but particularly mention 3-4 cases and 2-3, your answer will be very enriched and your answer will be act as like something from different, and answer should be look as a original content, not the manufactured content. If you see the notes of the more, particularly with my own experience, I'm telling, I never used to refer the class content, any class. I'm not talking about this or that, any class content. Go to the Lok Sabha official site, you will get the best examples of the how the evolution of the speaker office happened and the best examples. Just once visit, you just whenever you get time, just scroll down, you will get that. But this will give you original content, and that will, if that reflect in your answer, you will score 3-digit marks in the mains, because our ultimate aim is to get a 3-digit marks in the and double-digit rank. So once again, back to our role, 10th schedule, role of the speaker. Okay, role of the speaker is under judicial review, but the date time is not specified. This is one of the criticism of the role of the speaker office, but we will discuss now. The another role of the speaker is this one, 108, 1110. These are the important role of the speaker, because speaker preside over joint sitting. Till now there are only 3 joint sitting from 1961 Dowry, then 1989 and 2002 Tada. These are the 3 joint sitting related to presided by the speaker. Then 1110, most important role of the speaker is signing the bill and the protecting the constitutional power, constitutional morality under this, because no one, not a Supreme Court, not a High Court or any court in India can challenge the role of the speaker under Article 1110, because he is the head of the legislative organ of the state. Got it? So it is a fully sovereign authority of the speaker to mention this bill is a money bill or not. And that was the issue. Criticism arises when Aadhaar bill mentioned as a finance bill in 2016, passed as a finance. Even Supreme Court, the electoral bond case also passed as a finance bill. This shows the partial role and the weakness of the office of the speaker falling down to the party line. This is one of the example how the role of the speaker can be manipulated. Okay, this is a with example we are just remember. Generally classes used to say that means I have seen the teacher used to don't mention the particular current contest or something. If we are validating the point with full fact of the Supreme Court response, or the some scholar like Polity Acharya, who was the former Lok Sabha Secretary General, he used to write very good in the Hindu on the office of the speaker and how the process. Subhas Kashyap, so do mention it, because you instead of the indecision, take some decision. Okay, and if you take that decision, that is going to reward you. Ultimately, everyone is writing answer. Around 15 to 16,000 students will they will write the answer. Most of the 50% will not able to complete the paper. If you able to complete the paper, if most 80% in that also, they are writing manufactured answers, the so-called rectification from the class material. But with my own experience, I am telling you this year what I have done. Go to the official source and just write, just read it. If you remember, okay. If you don't remember, no need. But implement this kind of approach. Done? Okay. So this is a one of the, and do mention Om Birla, do mention, because he is the authority who gave the permission to the Tirupati women's session. He is the authority who presided over the Bangalore session, and Somnath Chatterjee, who is the person who stood with the constitutional morality from 2002, 2004 to 2009. This is the example. If you mention, they will reward you, because ultimately we are the officers. We are not apart outside the society. We have to work on this framework. We have to work within this framework. We have to work within the system. So we should know about the system. And when the examiner will get to know how we are exactly in the system, because if we mention the real examples instead of the just giving some example data, no, data is important, but you can justify. There are 10,000 means 1100 petitions are pending from 1985 to 2022. This is the case. May do mention this. Okay, so this is one of the 10 schedule role of the speaker. Once again, back to the, and at international level also, Inter-Parliamentary Union, our speaker represent, and means office of the speaker represent India. Okay, in various legislative forums at a UN or very other organization, conferences, summit, speaker represent India as a head of the legislative organ. I am once again remembering you, we have started with the office of the speaker, origin of the office of the speaker, constitutional mandate, then we are discussing the roles. In the role is not a monolithic role just divided into the four: administrative role, then the presiding officer role, the role under the 10th schedule, and at an international level. These are the four roles, and I have already mentioned the particular examples. Now, these many responsibilities given to the office of the speaker. Just think, office of the speaker is ultimately given to the ruling party, and if ruling party is the majority, if they think that something is going against them, then definitely some mistakes, some weakness is going to happen. So now we are moving forward toward what are the issues and criticism office of the speaker. The first is, as I mentioned, the mis or inappropriate use of the article 1110 authority. What is that? 2016 example, use of the finance bill provision to pass the money bill. In 2018, use of the finance bill provision, because this will bypass the authority of the Rajya Sabha. Okay, to use this 1110 authority in 2018, the pass the electoral bond case. 2024, Supreme Court said that the right to information is a fundamental right under Article 19. That's why Supreme Court apparently completely rejected the electoral bond scheme. From 2018 to 2024, the origin of this issue was the passing of the electoral bond scheme via finance bill, the bill certified by the speaker. These were the two controversies. The another controversy is the bipartisanship of the speaker, office of the speaker. If you see, I will mention the example from 2014. There was issue on the role of the speaker in 2014 on the Andhra Pradesh bifurcation bill. Okay, that was the one of the example, bipartisanship. Then the appointment procedure itself. Appointment, if you see, who is appointing? Election member, party member. Then is there any special provision for the appointment? Like USA, like sorry UK, we have any special provision? So provision is no. Our speaker is ultimately MP. There is no special provision like other countries. Canada, Australia, New Zealand, those who are the parliamentary system, they have some kind of special provision and special qualification. But in our India's case, the speaker is just a normal MP. This is the thing. This is one of the issue which makes office of the speaker falling to the party line. The another issue is, sometimes, if you remember the 2023, at a one go, 143 members of parliament was suspended by the speaker. This is current, I'm talking about the current situation, and this shows the once again the role of the speaker falling the party line. This should not happen. I am discussing this thing only, money bill, certification of money bill, and these are the issues. Once you get to know that the role of the speaker, administrative issue will be there. Then the presiding, appointing the member, quorum thing. Then the second thing, chairman member, the presiding officer. Once you get, and this is a very good idea to generate the points. Role you know, and that role will somehow issues. That will be your challenges, and that challenges itself, there are certain recommendations which makes the role is means to make the role good, impartial. So this way we can role, I'm writing here, role, issues, way forward. Okay, this is a simple format to make a notes. Okay, and in this also, first is administrative, the second one is presiding officer, third one is 10th schedule. Okay, and global level, global representative, international representative. In this we have discussed the different role, 1 2 3 4. Then issue will be on the basis of this only. The here also same thing, you can mention 1110 bill. Then the presiding, these petitions are pending. The international, there is not a big issue. Now come to the way forward. What will be the way forward? Go to the DD Basu. What DD Basu has recommended, what the second constitutional review commission of 2000 have recommended. Then second ARC, okay, or PDT Acharya, 3 to 4 scholar. First, as the administrative head, PDT Acharya said that the appointment procedure should be neutral. There should be a specific appointment procedure. This is the first. Second thing, the UPSC prelims, UPSC own question mentioned that the once the speaker, always the speaker comment. So that will become your way forward. The make sure that our speaker is at least for that particular period, 5 years, he should not be the member of the party. He should give membership of the party. This is the provision in the UK, because we have adopted the parliamentary system from the UK. So this is a one way of the speaker. Then just way forward. Now Supreme Court in Keto Holohan case said that even the 10th schedule power of the speaker under the 10th schedule is not justified, but in the Maharashtra case 2022 Supreme Court specifically gave 3-month timeline. In governor of Tamil Nadu and governor state government of Tamil Nadu, Supreme Court gave the timeline to the president and governor. Why not Supreme Court give timeline to the Supreme Speaker? Supreme Court can give, but this is a one reminder that uphold the constitutional morality, upholding the constitutional morality. This is the one third way forward. Okay, if you any individual uphold the constitutional morality, there will be no lack of issues. There will be the no any bandwagoning. Something will happen. Okay, this is a one thing. The fourth thing will be the how the representative, the awareness, the capacity building, training, taking collective responsibility. Lok Sabha Speaker recently approved this Tirupati conference. Same way, he can collect the annual summit to just make aware. Capacity building should be there. And PDT Acharya once again suggested that the speaker should uphold the constitutional principles. Virtuous person. Okay, these are the way forward for the office of the speaker. Now, if we want to conclude this thing, how we can conclude? The best way to conclude is as our Prime Minister said that the temple of democracy is parliament and the God is speaker. So God should uphold the constitutional morality. This could be your conclusion. Then we have discussed the complete the origin of the speaker, then what exactly the role of the speaker in that 4 domains, the issue of the office of issues related with the office of the speaker in that also 4 domain: administrative, presiding officer, schedule 10, and international representative. Okay, then way forward, same way we have discussed you can implement these 4 things: role, issues, way forward. In this, just mention one example. The good example is Somnath Chatterjee, Balram Dhakar, and this is the 2 good examples. Even the Om Birla, the recent 2000 yesterday's Tirupati conference. Then you can say partisanship of the 2014 Meera Kumari's decision on the Telangana bill, Andhra Pradesh bifurcation bill, and the 2023 suspension of 143 members, because speaker act as a guardian, not the violator of the privileges of the members. If presiding officer is suspending 143 members in one go in one day, that is not the upholding the constitutional morality. So speaker should uphold the constitutional morality. Ultimately, the institution of the constitutional system should work in tandem to uphold the constitutional morality and to make India as a developed country by 2047. This will be your conclusion. We have discussed comprehensively office of the speaker topic. Done. This is a one thing. Now I will open the PPTs. This is the recommendation: neutrality, time bound, codification, and technology. Use of the technology. We have started the use of technology. Then this is the same. Research support awareness. Done. This is just one thing. Conclusion: linchpin of the parliamentary democracy. Vikasit Bharat. This is how connected with the particular this thing. Then this is just one dimension, and as I mentioned that we are going to discuss the another dimension of same topic, quality and governance. The speaker is just one dimension. How many of the office of the speaker is presided by the woman, and presently how many MPs are there in the 18th Lok Sabha? They are women. Okay, so women's issue we are going to discuss how exactly, and the first we are going to start with this thing. Okay, you can okay, this is a speaker, office of the speaker, it is over joint sitting of parliament under the article 19. See, under article 19 and 2024 UPSC asks exactly what is article 109. Okay, this is a one dimension. The next one is the speaker is final authority to certify the money bill. This is obviously correct. The speaker of the decision under the 10th schedule is subject to the judicial. These two statements are correct. Then the answer is 2 and 3. Now mains question, discuss the constitutional mandate, roles, challenges, and reforms needed to strengthen the office of the speaker. As I have discussed the 4 roles, 4 challenges, and 4 reforms. This will be the 15 marker question. Do write it, send, we will review this. Send to our mail ID, we will review this. Done. This is the just one thing. Now, as I discussed yesterday only, 2-day conference on the women's empowerment and representation of women conducted recently. So, what exactly women's representation mean in the parliament? And why exactly we need the representation of women in the parliament? Because the first reason is why we need it and why representation mean for the woman. Okay, if you see representation of the woman at a local level, that was started by the PV Narasimha Rao, and the evolution at the state legislature and the parliament that was started by HD Devegowda in 1996. That was the first attempt. Then Atal Bihari Vajpayee in 2004, and then 2009, 2009 UPA won. They also attempted to give the women's reservation, but due to the lack of number, that bill did not pass. But on the 19th of September 2023, the present government under the our Prime Minister's leadership, they gave representation to the woman, means reservation to the woman at a in parliament, that to the state legislature and state legislature in the state legislative assemblies and Lok Sabha. What exactly the procedure? I have told you the evolution also. Okay, and then 1996, 2004, then 2008, and then 2023. Finally, Nari Nari Vandana Adhiniyam Shakti Adhiniyam. So, Nari Vandana Adhiniyam Shakti Adhiniyam. That was the official, but that is a constitutional amendment. Act 106. 2024, exactly UPSC asked a question on this topic. Okay, in mains also, prelims already UPSC had asked the question. Now it's time for the mains. Definitely 2026 there will be the chance that UPSC will ask question on this topic. Okay, so evaluation we have done. Then constitutional push for the Nari Shakti amendment and explain. Done. Now this is just one Women's Reservation Act. Nari Shakti Vandana Adhiniyam. Nari Shakti Vandana Adhiniyam. This is the official title of the one constitutional amendment 106. Then this is the what exactly amendment constitute, but we are going to discuss the broader dimension of the women's representation, why we need the women's representation, what exactly the present status. If you see in the world, which country have largest women's representation, women's legislator in their general legislature at the central level? Can you imagine anyone? Anyone can you tell me what exactly the countries? Uganda, sorry, Rwanda or Uganda, 61%. There is other reasons also, but 61% representation there. In our case, it is just 15%. Globally, according to the International Parliamentary Union, global average is 26%. But still, this much thing, we had first woman prime minister, we had first first IPS officer, but we had first president of India, and our current president of India is also woman. So our constitutional institutions, they are evolving. But if you see the America, till now there is no woman president. Okay, we provided from the starting, from our birth of India, the full adult franchise to the woman, but USA given that the woman election voting rights to the woman in 1920s. This is the tragedy. Those who used to teach us the morality, human right issue, they should look into within what exactly they have done, and now after 150 years, 200 years, they are preaching the philosophy. Okay, but in our case, just 17 years, 70 years, what we have done from the starting 1952, despite literacy rate, illiteracy and everything, we provided universal franchise. Just within the 20 years, we had the first female prime minister of India. Okay, and just within the 60 years, we had the female president of India. Okay, that is the maturity, that is the thing which making India largest democracy and the thriving democracy. Okay, this is a one. Now we will discuss one dimension of this Nari Adhiniyam One Shakti. That the thing is this. What exactly? This basically I will tell you three dimensions are there. 15 years, okay, SC, ST, okay, and in state legislative assemblies and LS, okay, reservation is given. In this also, state legislative assembly, UTs of Delhi, Pondicherry. Okay, this is the exact three provisions of Nari Vandana Adhiniyam Shakti 106. Okay, that means the Women's Reservation Amendment Act 106. These three provisions are important. And why? First of all, this is given, but why we need this kind of reservation? Why we are providing the reservation? This question arises through these new different dimensions. What these dimensions are, I will show you. This is importance. First one is policy making. It is shown by the United Nations report, women are more responsible, women's legislators are more responsible than their counterpart. Okay, even the gender gap, even the wage gap, and many things. Security bill, I am talking about the 2020, the particular the security codes of labor security codes that specifically given protection to the women. The reason is being the policy decision and the policy committee is chaired by everything done by the woman. Okay, women legislators. We have the very good examples. Our first constitutional assembly, there was 15 women. In the constitutional assembly, there were the 15 women. Rani Amrit Kaur was the one of the health ministry. Then our first the Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru's sisters who represented at a UN and was the vice secretary general of the UN. That was the India's maturity. And that's why we need the women in the parliament, the policy making. This policy making is not a monolithic. If you break the policy making in the economy, the policy making and I'm just stopping little bit. First, this woman issue asking all the domain in GS1, GS2, GS3 and GS4 also. Okay, so how you have to focus on particular topic. I will mention here, just a second. Hello. Okay. If you see any question on woman that will asked by UPSC in this domain, society, we have specific point, and 2025 also UPSC asked the question on the women's organization. Okay, society, polity, GS1, GS2, GS3. Platform economy, GS1 2021 question. Then care economy 2024 question. Care economy, how we can transform into the monetized economy. Then silver economy, senior citizen woman, that includes senior citizen woman. Okay. Then the morality, how exactly the sexual harassment case related case studies UPSC had asked in the earlier in the GS4. Okay, so these are the broader dimension of the woman. If you are studying, we are studying in this domain. So PRI representation, how PRI has empowered the woman, and woman now become the woman-led develop instead of the empowerment of the woman, and the 106 constitutional amendment. Okay, this is just the one dimension of the woman and woman related issues. Here, care economy, platform economy, silver economy, and orange economy. In all these domain, woman and the gender gap. There was one question: feminization of Indian agriculture. Feminization of Indian agriculture, science and technology and security. Okay, woman related violence. These were the question in the GS3 economy. Okay, in the moral, I as earlier only I told that how the sexual harassment cases POSH Act has asked in the UPSC GS4 paper. So whenever you are studying for the woman related topic, this kind of things, this you should remember: society, polity, economy, and this morality. Okay, this is a four major dimensions of the woman. If you divide this way, or else you can do in the another way, that is woman in different domain. Okay, first is child marriage issue, come to the society. Okay, tribal woman, infanticide, abortion, sex ratio, woman security, urban woman. You specifically you can mention urban woman. Here security will come. Okay, decision making, ruler woman, working woman, young woman, widow woman, single, these are the dimension. Tribal woman, urban woman, you can mention SC, you can mention SC woman, lower caste woman also. This is a one of the means, I'm not denigrating anyone, but this is just one dimension. Either you can use this previous approach of the society, polity, economy, and morality, or else you can divide into the from the child, from the woman's children's birth to the sex ratio, to the abortion, to the child marriages, from the child marriage to the rural woman, then rural woman to the SC, ST, tribal women, then urban woman, then young woman, then the single parent woman. If you, there are many, like this is a approach we can implement it in how is woman related issues, and this is a simple approach, either that 4Gs approach or this approach. This will cover your woman topic in each and every domain, because there is in GS1 woman related organization, in GS2 vulnerable section, that also includes woman, in GS3 care economy, platform economy, orange economy, in GS4 sexual harassment cases. Okay, let's come to the back on our topic, that is Nari Shakti Adhiniyam Vandana scheme. Sorry, this constitutional amendment 106. Then this is a one dimension. Now, if you see, as I mentioned, just think that I have given the example also. Sarpanch Pati, one MBA Chavi Devi, one is MBA Sarpanch in the Rajasthan. Women are making policy related to child labor. Women are making the policy related to the prevention of the termination of pregnancy act 1971 as amended in 2022. Just how they will contribute, gender budgeting. Okay, that would be the dimension, gender budgeting. This is just one dimension how tribal women can contribute. Fulan Devi and Goma, then Hema Devi. We have around 8% tribal population, and in this also woman representation is very less. So if we give 106 article provide the representation of women, then this will empower them, and basically we are talking about the women's representation under the polity topic, GS 2 vulnerable sections, women's, and in this woman role of woman, if we have provided the reservation to the woman, what in benefit will happen? Policy making, policy includes economic related policy, polity related policy, rural development related policy, urban development related policy, then the security related policy. Okay, these are the dimensions. Okay, you have to write these dimensions in your answer. The next dimension is the how, particularly this representation of women in the parliament, how this will help to the tribal women, how this will, because this will the best, this is the best example. The next one is rural development. This will reduce the policies support to the women's working in the farm. Okay, because there is a concept of around two-thirds laborers in the farm is agri women. So best example for this Lakpati Didi scheme, Lakpati Didi, technological, even the technological AI related policy making. So these are the benefits of the women's reservation under the constitutional amendment 106. Okay, these are the dimension. Done. Now women, children, the policy making example is from PRS 73rd Constitutional Amendment Act, and this is the best case study. And on that case study basis, we have provided 33% women reservation at a grassroots level in 1992. Now the around 14 lakh women representatives are there, and some states provide 50% reservation, and 18 states in India have more than 50% women reservation, women represented at the grassroots level. This push for national level parliament to enact this particular amendment. Okay, this amendment provides the very holistic, comprehensive representation to the woman. Okay, and how this representation is going to happen? This is going to help the woman in economic domain, in polity domain, in development domain, in the representation domain, and in the security domain, because all these related policies is framed in parliament. That is the temple of democracy. Okay, this is the one of the dimension. As I have given the example PRI. PRI is the best case study. Comparatively, you can use this approach, PRI to the PRI to the central level legislature. Okay, this is a one dimension. Now, if you come to the rural development, as a they are the just example. I am showing you how the Bangalore studies in the IIM Bangalore in the Kandam Mishri self-help groups, how 10 lakh, around 99 lakh women are representative, are members of the self-help group. So economic empowerment. So this will automatically transform from the woman empowerment to the woman-led development. And as our Prime Minister said that we are in the age of woman-led development and not the woman empowerment. Okay, there is difference between woman-led development and woman empowerment. But still, if you see, there are issues, and that issues I am going to discuss right now is labor force. This is a old data, but right now this is a 41% only. G20 countries have 50%. Okay, the gender gap is 28%. Okay, security issue, 4 lakh plus crimes against women in 1 year, NCRB data. This is the thing. How our, if you remember, the recently one incident happened. One of the our woman member, she was walking on the street of the parliament in the morning during the winter monsoon session, and someone snatched her own phone and own gold. Can you imagine if woman MP is thrashed by the robbers, thepters, then can you imagine what about the nominal woman, ordinary woman? The security issue. Security is still perceived. More than 4 lakh. More than, can you imagine, more than 4 lakh crimes happen in India in just 1 year, 2024-25. NCRB data shows this. And the gender gap, according to the World Economic Forum gender gap report, it is for 28%. India, by this space, if you go, the equality will come after 199 years, and the woman labor force participation is just 41%. 41%. This is the one very horrific thing. And compared to the other G20 countries, we represent ourselves as a represent at the global level, we represent it as a world's largest democracy. We propose woman as a Nari Shakti, Saraswati, Lakshmi. Even the best story of this 106 constitutional amendment, our new parliament building, the first bill passed, the first constitutional amendment has been passed, that is a 106. This is the Lakshmi, mother. Mother from starting, woman is a we call it the Mother India. Okay, this much importance we have given to the woman, but this is just on the paper, and on the ground these things are happening. Just 41% of the woman labor force participation ratio, PLFR survey, then a 28% wage gap, then the crime against women, security issue, commutation issue. If we come across many times through the reel or through newspaper, then Unnao incidents, the Nirbhaya incidents are the eye opener. Then the Kolkata incidents of 2024, these are the eye openers. How the women are will and are going to suffering, they are suffering and will suffer. So the 106 Constitutional Amendment Act on the paper looks very good, providing the representation. In that also there are different issues. I discuss these general issues, but in 106 constitutional amendment there are issues in the sense that it will be implemented post 2027 census and delimitation commission, and this 106 does not provide reservation to the OBC women, and the reservation is only for 15 years. And this will, one of the criticism is limit women representation to particular reserved seat only. 33%. This is the major concern on this 106 Constitutional Amendment Act. So, how to address this concern? First, the census process has already begun. It has kick-started, and now it is going to kick-start, and automatically it is. Let's see how implementation, ultimately what happens. As Gunnar Marriott said that we have the policies, we have the laws, we have n number of laws. This is the, in his Gunnar Marriott, in his book Asian Drama, he said explicitly that in Asia, most of the post-colonized country, they have the laws, but the implementation is very nil, very less. So how this Constitutional Amendment Act will help to improve the woman's condition, it is going to be a C. Okay, but other domain, how in economic, political, social domain, what exactly we can do and government has done to improve the woman condition and to make woman empowerment to the woman-led development. This can we can discuss the technological. First, drone didis for the rural woman, digital innovation, then the Startup India scheme, around out of 27,000 startups, 27 million startup, one third startup are owned by women. Okay, this is the achievement we have achieved in the recent years. Providing the reservation in the politics, that is going to be game changer. That needs to be implemented on the ground. But the apart from this, in the social domain, the concept of the glass ceiling, the we are providing the platform economy. Even Niti Aayog came with the very good proposals to provide the flexibility of working hours, safety issues, Nirbhaya fund. There are 7,000 crore Nirbhaya fund government has established to provide the support to them. The working woman hostels. Government is working on that. So overall, broad, comprehensively in the economic domain also, government is providing economic domain. Government is providing the flexibility working hours. Security, government has provided the woman policing, pink booth. Okay, and now the presently the forest services, forest department is fully controlled by at the national level. Forest Ministry of Forest and Environment is controlled by the women's officers only. Sorry, Ministry of Forest Department in the Tamil Nadu is controlled by the woman only. It is just one example you can mention. So in economic domain, mention some policies. In political domain, mention some policies. In the social domain, mention the policies like Nari Vandana, then the you can say the PM Manadhan Vandana Yojana, then the PM Jan Ayushman Bharat scheme for this all the things. But first and foremost, I will give you two things. if we provide these three things to the woman, I don't think there will be the any I think there will be any negative impact on the woman's development, because education is a bedrock for the any social or economic or any change. This is the education. Health, if healthy woman will work productively, will work efficiently, and that will definitely contribute to the economy. But to do all these things, resources, women should have some resources. If you see the Pradhan Mantri Mudra Yojana, around 55 crore are accounts, and in that account around 4.5 lakh cash is there. Okay, 4.5 lakh crore cash is savings are there, and this account, three-fourth of account are women's account. This is the level of resources we should provide, and we should work in tandem, all the ministry, whole of government approach, that will help to boost the boost women's representation in the particular ground level, also in all the domain, not only the only legislative. To see, providing the reservation is the first step, but implementing on the ground the second step, and education, resource, health providing will provide you the basically comprehensive revolution will bring, and this will fulfill the dream of India. Okay, as B.R. Ambedkar, we can conclude, as a B.R. Ambedkar said that the any social change that should begin from the woman. Even all the tallest leaders, they mention that the social change start from the woman, because woman is a mother. She gives birth to the children. Not only birth and the woman, even Mother India gives birth to the development. This is a overall woman related article. If you go through this article, you will get time bound nature, this thing, you will get the idea, role of woman in the conference, then the limited policy making, you will get the PDF of all the this thing, election machine, the proposals. Okay, so overall, this is our today's current affair article. We have discussed the speaker and the women's related overall 4 GS related topics, and in that particularly we have discussed about GS2. Okay, so do read about the women's in GS1, GS2, GS3, GS4. Make one notes for all the GS4s, and use the GS topics, and use anywhere if they ask the question in either GS1, GS2, GS3. Okay, this is your comprehensive. I hope you understood all the topics, what are two topics what I have discussed. Tomorrow I will come with this new topic with new energy, new zeal. All the best. Jai Hind.